Hello everyone, this is Mechbay and welcome back to my channel. Before I begin, I just want to invite you guys to please hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon so that you guys will be notified of future videos. So on this video, we'll be going over this throne room environment designed specifically for the 1/6 scale Infinity Wars Hot Toys Thanos. As you can see guys, this dio is quite large. It barely can fit in the frame of my video, and especially in this unassembled form, you could kind of see that it occupies a lot of space. And there's actually 4 different pieces for this diorama. As you can see, there's one right here. This is the bottom piece, and the one at the back right there is another piece that goes on top of this just to create that step up. And then this is the seat, and then the one over there is the back of the seat, so you could attach it together via magnets. Unfortunately, I totally forgot to take videos during the design stage of this project, and so I won't be able to show you guys a video of this project prior to the painting stage or during the time when I was just putting things together, so that all you see is just the pink foams and some of the other raw materials that I use to create this diorama. So I apologize for that. However, I do have some photos that I took during the design stage, and so I'll be including that at the end of the video, just kind of showing you photos so you guys will have an idea of what this one looked like before it's painted like this. So before we assemble this diorama, I just want to go over each pieces individually so that I'll be able to show you guys some of the details as well as explain to you guys the materials that I used, just in case if you guys wanted to recreate this type of project, then you'll be able to have an idea of the materials. All right, and since this item is quite large, so I'll be doing is I'll be just doing it freestyle and holding my camera to go over some of these pieces. So yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so the first one that we're gonna look at is the bottom part of the throne, and that's basically the seat and the armrest. And let's just go closer for you guys to see some of the details. Let me just move this around. That's the back. There's actually a magnet hidden in there. There's actually 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4 magnets in there. So that will attach to this backing for the throne, or the backrest for the throne, which I'll show you guys a little later. So continuing this one, and it's pretty much the same on the other side. And going back to the front, and let me just put it back so you can kind of see Thanos in there just for the reference. So that's the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Thanos. And you could actually, you know, if you're tight on space, then you could actually just go ahead and use this kind of configuration and have Thanos sit in here and without the backrest, and it still would be fine, I think. So that's one configuration that you guys can have to display this. All right, so in terms of materials, the majority of materials that I use for all of this one right here is basically pink foam or insulation foam. And if you guys watch all my videos or my previous videos, then you guys know that the primary materials that I use is pink insulation foam in my diorama. So yes, and for this one right here, to create this kind of thickness, I have to layer multiple pink foam. So like for example, for this one, I think I use basically 1, 2 and a half. So I basically have inch thick pink foam and also a half-inch thick pink foam. So this is basically a combination of two 1-inch thick and then half-inch to create this width of for the armrest. And then I also covered the surfaces of the pink foam with plaster of Paris, just to make sure that it's hard enough so that it can support the weight of a 1/6 scale figures. And then for this material right here for the seat, this one is actually a placemat, and you could get this at Target. That's where I got this one, and it actually looks perfect. It looks kind of similar to the ones in the movie. I mean, obviously, this design that I have here is inspired by the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Infinity War / Endgame, throne room for Thanos, right? But at the same time, this is not exactly what's shown in the movie. So I kind of used my own artistic ideas to, or my spin on that throne. So this is what I came up with. So the shape is kind of similar, but the actual detailing is different. It's basically my own. So all right, so for this one right here, this one is actually a wood detail that you can get at Michael's. So that's basically what that thing is, and I just painted them. This one right here is a little bit more tricky because this one I have to carve, and I basically used a sheet foam for this one. So as you can see, if I look back right here, you can see the thickness of that sheet foam. So that's basically what it is, and it's a softer material, easily to cut, and that's why I opted in using that. So it's easier for me to do this kind of pattern, cut it out, and then attach it in here, and then seal it with Mod Podge so that it seals some of the smaller crevices of that sheet foam, and it turns out pretty good. Yeah, that sheet foam actually you can also get from Michael's. They come in 8.5 by 11 and sometimes 11 by 17 sheet, and those things comes in different colors. So doesn't really matter what colors you get, but it is the same materials. And then to create this kind of things right here, is just basically playing with layering your foams to create this kind of shape basically. All right, so let's move on to the other one. So this one is the backrest for the throne. Has similar materials to the seat that I showed you guys. This pattern over here is made from craft foam, the ones that you could buy at the dollar store. You know those they come in 24 by 36, I think, in size. They're white and they're pretty easily workable type materials. And as you can see right here, when I covered this with the plaster of Paris, then I also covered the seam so that this one looks like it's just one whole piece, but it's actually made from like two pieces, like I said, because this one is I attached this in the front of this one right here. And and as well as this one is made from multiple layer of pink foam to create that thickness once again. So I just tried keeping that consistent kind of like stone look for this throne. And looking at the back, as you can see, there's more great surface that been created by the Plaster of Paris. And then when you do the dry brushing, it really brings out some of those details, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's move on to the next. So for this next one, I'm just gonna be going over both of these together since they're basically similar design, except that one is smaller that goes on top of this one. So again, you know, for this for display purposes, you know, the owner can just use one of this base right here as a display piece, or if he has a bigger space, then he can go all the way down and use this big one. So let me just go ahead and put this one on top of it so you guys can have an idea real quick. There's also a magnet at the bottom of this one, and this one also has a magnet, so this one attached together. So there you go. This is what it looks like when I put that small piece on top of this base. So it does add like a step and raise that throne. Alright, so just looking more into the details once again. You know, this one took quite a while for me to do because, like I said, those are I have to do that by hand individually. So I didn't do any, you know, I didn't use any 3D printed stuff on this dial, all done by hand. And once again, it's all about layering of materials to create the different depths that you see here. I also added some of those kind of like damage. As you can see, you know, there's some chips in there, so it's almost like, you know, weathered. Yep, so yeah, and once again, this is also covered by Plaster of Paris, so the surfaces of these ones are a little bit more durable than on the ones without. I think for Marvel Legends, it's okay to maybe not use Plaster of Paris, but for 1/6 scale, like the Hot Toys one, especially this guy right here is pretty heavy. I think it's a must that you put that so that it protects the foam. So that's also why I did that. So that's just a tip for you guys to do. So when you guys gonna be doing a 1/6 scale project, then that's something for you guys to think about. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this thing together. Let's see if I can do this with one hand only. So let me go ahead and put this on top. So that's one right there. So this one right here is basically it's free moving, so you could put this anywhere from this platform. There's really no magnet that will attach this to this one, but this one is a pretty, you know, has weight to it, so that it's not gonna move once it's in place. Alright, so like I said last time, you know, if you don't want to use this bottom part, you could probably get away with just this and that one as a display piece. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of different configurations that you guys can do in terms of displayability for this diorama. So let's go ahead and grab the last piece. Alright, so this one should just slide in and the magnet will, there you go, you can kind of hear the clicking sound. So there you go. You just have to just recenter it a little bit. There you go. So there you go. You did hear the locking sounds of that, right? So that what this one looks like. I have to step back a little bit so you guys can see this in the frame. There you go. You can see Thanos right there, right? It's kind of small. It's so you could kind of have an idea how big this thing is. So let me see if I can grab my ruler right here. Hold on. Maybe give us an idea how big this thing is. So I have a metal ruler right here that's 18 inches. So right now, just looking at the back, so from the bottom, so 18, and I think there's still a couple of more. So I'd say the total height of this throne is about 20 inches from the bottom to the top of the backrest, and then it's about 18 inches deep. I mean the bottom of the base, it's about 18 by 18, so 18 by 18 by 20 height. Obviously it will be much smaller if you take this thing out and just display it with this two right here. So you're gonna end up having just a little over 13 by, yeah, about 14. I'd say 14 by 14 if you don't use this one. So 14 by 14. So that's pretty cool. You know, if you want the smaller, if you have a smaller space. Let's go ahead and put Thanos kind of like standing right here, so, or in front of it, just for scale. So there you go. So these probably, so you could just put him right here so you guys can see the, all right, so that's pretty much it. I have some photos that I took earlier with Thanos sitting and stuff on the throne, so I hope you guys stay tuned after this video to watch that. And that concludes our video. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave me some comments, and also hit that subscribe button to help me out, and the bell icon so that you guys will be notified of new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.